I don't know that I could handle somebody fucking my man that I've been with for 4 years. That's just a lot for me because I'm so territorial, and I think that's my shit. It's my fear. It's my
KiKi,
fear.
you know what? I would be happy to share with you. I would be happy to share dick with you. Because you know what?
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Listen, the guest that we have here tonight, y'all, this dynamic duo couple are the hosts of Cheating on Fear podcast. We have Dante and Queen B, Beatrice, here in the building. Welcome. Thank you so much. Cheers.
We're so happy to be here, KiKi.
Oh my goodness, thank you. We've been trying to plan this and we finally got it done. So we're here. We have a lot to talk about. I have Dante and Beatrice here tonight. And let me tell you, I low-key kind of stalked their Instagram page. Instagram, and B would go live all the time with her girlfriend, and so I would listen to their conversations, and I'm like, damn, they go through just what I go through. You all mirrored the conversations that you had, mirrored what me and my girlfriend were talking about. So I was like, shit, and then the name alone, Cheating on Fear podcast. Let me just say this. Many of us are scared to make big decisions in our lives and move, big moves. And I'm guilty of it. And so I have this level of fear that I carry with me sometimes. And I'm like, I have to do what it takes to overcome this fear, this level of fear that I have. And so I know that I'm not in uncharted territory, and I'm not alone in this uncharted territory where we want to take on and tackle our fears. You know what I mean? So as I begin to explore some areas in my life where fear really reigns heavy, I just thought that it was so appropriate to have you both on, to just talk about what this looks like and how we as a people can overcome the fears that stop us from doing so much in life that we want to take on and do. I mean, hell, the podcast. I was fearful of that, when we first started out. Would the shit work? I mean, but we're 32 episodes in, and here we are. So tell me this, B and Dante, what would you say was the concept or the inspiration behind Cheating on Fear, the podcast?
That's a great question, KiKi. I just want to do a little cheers before we get going. We can all just cheers to Friday night and cheers to. It's a damn shame we didn't get to do this earlier, but we're doing it now.
I know, it's a damn shame, but we're here now.
So I think you really, I love that it resonated with you, and that you really got the idea of what Cheating on Fear was supposed to be. And so Dante and I, we talk all the time about relationships and sex and things that are happening in the culture and politics on your side of the border, on our side of the border. We're up here in Canada, and we thought, it would be really, really cool to start a podcast. We know how scary that is. It's a daunting task, right?
It is.
And there were a lot of things that we talked about, and the nature of our relationship. We thought, maybe if we talked about these things, we could help other people and help take the trepidation and the anxiety out of a lot of things, because he's done a lot of things in his life. I've done a lot of things in my life. We've done a lot of things together. And we thought, maybe our individual experiences and our shared experiences, if we were able to talk about that and have an audience give a shit about what we had to say, maybe we could help some people, because really a lot of the things that we're afraid of are just things we've made up in our heads. And our lives can be so much better if we just have a little bit of courage to have that conversation or to try that thing we're afraid to do, and to move forward and to grow. And you can't have growth without a little bit of moving outside of where you're comfortable. And so I think a lot of people, their lives don't change and they don't have the life that they want because they are afraid to make that move. They are afraid to pursue their dream, or they are afraid to do something, to make themselves vulnerable in a relationship or any of those things. And we wanted, I mean, you were right in kind of assuming that it was about relationships, about that kind of fear, because I think that's a big chunk of what scares people, is being vulnerable and saying what you want in a relationship and trying to create the relationship that you wanted. And Dante and I, when we got together, we had a unique opportunity to build the ideal relationship for us from the ground up. And it was such an amazing experience. We thought, maybe we can help other people move forward and communicate better and say what they want and go after what they want in their relationships, in their jobs, in, what they want to do with the rest of their lives, traveling, any kind of, learning something new. And so that's kind of where it came from. And yes, it's very much based on sex and relationships. We have a lot of topics that we deal with sex and relationships, but we also talk about a lot of other topics: fitness, travel, mental health, parenting issues, with men, issues with women, and cultural phenomena, and just pulling those things apart and unpacking them. And so it's really expanded into something more than just sex and relationships. That's probably our favorite topic. But
so how long have you all been in a relationship?
We are almost at 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
In the spring we'll be 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
It went fast.
I love how you looked at him and was like, you can fuck this up if you want to.
He knows when we got together. That's why
I love it. So how do you think one overcomes their fear for whatever it is, whatever you want to do in life?
So I've always found that in my life, the things that are the scariest are the things that you internalize. And that if you speak whatever it is, if you bring it out into the open, then it loses a lot of its power and control over you. So if people can identify what they're scared of or what's making them afraid, if they can talk about it, that goes, even if that doesn't give them the solution to their problem, just talking about that fear, it really can do a lot to neutralize it. Yeah.
I definitely think, communication is key. And really, it's like, if you are a recovering addict, you have to admit, I'm scared. I am an addict.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm scared. I do have this level of fear in this area. So I get it. So as it pertains to relationships, do you feel that, because originally, like I said, when I heard the name of the podcast, I was like, cheating on fear, and I instantly went to KiKi shit, just like, listen, I cheat out of fear of being hurt. And so I always had that main one, but then I have some others waiting in the wind, and that I can kind of pull in. I say my starting five.
B had something like that.
I did. We call it the stable. I was trying to build a stable when I met him.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then eventually they'll fade away. Like, some of the starting five and it's always that key, that point guard or whatever it is that will stay, and he sticks and stays. But I think that, when I first heard the podcast, I was like, shit, I cheat out of fear. And I know that I do a lot of things that are not cool out of fear. And so, what would you tell a person like myself about, trying to not be that way?
I think honestly, before I would tell you what to do, I think I would ask you why. What is it that you're afraid of? And, it's really interesting.
Heartbroken.
Right. But this is the thing, is that you're going to get over that, right? You're going to be okay, right? You've been hurt before. It didn't kill you, right? You go, no. What's the worst thing that can happen? Do you want to? I think a lot of people miss out on a lot of stuff because they're so intent on not getting hurt. And when you really think about that, it's like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to not be hurt? You think about all the things that people do. And that's really, we have a biological imperative to avoid pain and to run towards pleasure and to use the least amount of energy to do both of those things. Mm-hmm. That's the way we're built.
Yeah.
And so we don't call it cheating on fear because we think we're better than anybody else at doing that. There's still times where I think, I can't do this, man. It's too scary. But I think that you need to, whenever there's something fearful in my life or in our relationship, we do something we like to call peeling the onion, where you want to get down to the very base fear, because there's a lot of fears that are really just surface things that are hiding other things. Like you talked about being an addict. That is really about disconnection.
Yeah.
And avoiding, hiding from your life because there's no connection there. There's nothing to latch onto and feel good about, right? You need something that replaces that drug. And at that point, that drug, whatever that drug of choice is what you're holding on to, what you're connecting to, right?
Absolutely.
So, and it's fear. It's fear of being vulnerable. It's fear of being rejected. It's fear of not being loved. That's all any of us want, is to be loved. But we have to risk in order to do that. And I'm one of these, I'm a wall girl, right? I'm a toughie. I'm really good at like, oh yeah, I'm good. I just need some dick. Without complications. I don't need all the other shit. I'm good. Yep. And I was good. I was good on my own, as Rihanna likes to say. I was good on my own. That's the way it was. Yeah. And I was prepared because the investment in a relationship was just too much for me to think about. I was like, nah, man, I don't want all that shit, all that bullshit. And then I met Dante, and here was someone who was confident without being arrogant, who was nice, who didn't want to play any games, who was honest with who he was, where he was coming from, what he wanted. And it was just instant connection. And it was just like, I've just met this person and I trust this person and I'm okay to be vulnerable with this person. And then, and there's been times in our relationship where I think, oh my God, this is too scary. This is too, and you go, okay, It's time to peel the onion. What are you afraid of? Yeah. Well, I'm afraid that he doesn't really love me like he says he does. Does that even make sense? No. Okay, fine. What are you really afraid of? And just keep peeling it away until you get to that base thing, right? Where being vulnerable is terrifying because you do leave yourself open. Yeah. But you're strong and confident and independent. And when you're okay being alone, then anything can happen and you can take that risk because you know that you're okay by yourself. Right. So anybody that you let into your life. Yep.
Would you say that lack of self-identity breeds fear?
we were talking about that, but I feel like I've been talking for a really long time.
No,
so.
you can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that not knowing who you are can create that kind of uncertainty that can breed fear, right? And when you are trying to figure out where you stand in a relationship or what your career is looking like or what to do in your family, if you're unsure of who you are, then you're going to be unsure of all the decisions that you make in whatever aspect of your life, right? And so it took a long time for me to be the person that I am today. There's a whole bunch of shit in everybody's past that gets you to where you are right now. And I mean, that stuff is painful, and you know, in some respects, it would be nice if it didn't happen, but I wouldn't be the person I was or I am now if I didn't go through the things I did in the past, right? And so understanding who you are can give you at least that like grounding of, okay, I know this is one thing that I know. So if I'm uncertain about these other things, I can always fall back to one thing that I do know and use that as like your reference point for moving forward in anything.
Yeah. So in relationships, there are some ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you fight fair? You know, have this argument, fight fair when there are no referees around, when there's nobody to say, all right, you all have overdone it. You said too much shit tonight. Dante, listen, you've oversaid. Like when there's no referee, how do you manage that?
If you don't mind, I'm going to start this and you can finish if you want. You know, I think, you know, throughout our entire relationship, and I know I don't mean to again sound like we've got it all figured out, and we don't. Yeah. But from the very beginning, there's been a high level of respect for each other as people, and
trust.
And I'm one of these people that words matter to me, whether it's a text or in a card or put out into the air, words matter. So if you say something shitty to me, I'm going to remember that shit for a long time, and it's going to hurt for a long time. It's a wound. And so because I know that, and because I've taken a few trips around the sun, I am very careful with what I say, knowing that those kinds of things can sit out there forever. And if you wound somebody with your words because you're angry or because you're pissed and you just say something shitty, it's really, really hard to take that back. It's like crinkling up a piece of paper and trying to flatten it out again. It's really, really hard to do that. And so I think I've always been very careful with what I say or don't say. And I think very hard about what my feelings are and what I'm really upset about before I will say something to him. So he knows by this point, if I'm angry or upset about something, I will be quiet for a long time. And it's because I'm processing what I'm really feeling, what I'm really upset about, what I want from him to fix it. And he is uncommonly patient as a man. So it's great. It's great to have someone that understands that's what my process is. When I'm angry, he just leaves me alone until I'm ready to talk. And then we talk about what the real issue is. But because it's hard, people get heated super quickly and they say really shitty things. And then they have to come back and take it back and say, I'm sorry for saying that shitty thing. But like I said, even if you take that back, that person is always wondering, did they really mean that? Is that how they really feel?
Like I say, I'm very much like you in that I'm calculated and not calculated, but I really strategically place my words to not really tear down someone in a relationship, right? But sometimes I can fly that KiKi has the side that she can give it all that she has, and it will have your head spinning. So a lot of times I'll have to come back because what I said, I meant, but how I said it is better, and so that is the part that I find myself apologizing for. So let's take it up a notch.
Well, apology is a big part of it, right? And knowing how to apologize, not saying, I'm sorry you're mad.
That's a shitty apology.
That's a shitty apology. Did you have a point to make about, is there something that you do or that I do that when we fight that you?
I have a really, it's not in my nature to just not to let something lie.
No.
I have a Mediterranean background. We're fiery. We talk a lot. We shout,
use your hands.
Use our hands a lot. When in my family, yelling is like a sign of affection. It's not anger, right? So everybody
and the Colombians.
Yeah, it just escalates, right? And so I have a natural, if something's wrong, I want to fix it now. Let's talk it out. Let's figure it. Let's get to the root of it. And then let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
And with B, that's not her process. And so it took time, and it's not always easy, but to figure that out and to move it at a pace that works well for you.
I don't leave you hanging for days and days and days.
No,
it's just, he sits there and stares at me for a couple hours while I just stare forward, and it's put on another YouTube video because I ain't ready to talk to you yet. I'm not ready. Sorry, we interrupted you, Kiki. What were you going to say?
No,
you said you were going to take it up a notch. I want to see what notch you're going to take it up to.
Well, I'm graduating you all. So look, kissing is very intimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like, in order to have a healthy relationship, that you have to have that level of intimacy in kissing, especially kissing while having sex? Because there's some people that just don't really like it.
Who are those people?
I haven't met those people. People that don't like
just two heads looking just like this, doing their
Hey, I mean,
have you been with these people?
Huh?
Have you been with these people?
No,
okay, all right, okay.
I mean, not to yuck anybody's yum.
I feel better now.
But then I have friends who don't like kissing. They just, the shit is icky to them, and they want to just fuck. And so I just wanted to see where you all were in the spectrum.
Kissing to me is very important. Actually, it's kind of an interesting story. So we met on a dating app.
Nice.
And he was away on business for 2 weeks, so we couldn't meet right away. Okay. And so we were texting for 2 weeks solid. And he was like, why don't we FaceTime? I can call you. And I was like, no. Because we had already set up a date. He was really good. He was like, I'm going to be back on this day. Are you free this day? Let's go out. Let's see how things are. And so we already had a date in place while we were texting when he was away on business. And I said, no. Because here's the thing. I need to know how I feel about you, how my body feels about you, how my ears feel about you. And so when you show up, I want everything about you to hit me all at once. The look of you, the smell of you, the feel of you, the sound of you, all at once. And he was like, all right, cool. And he's thinking, I'm getting catfished. I feel there's no way this is her. And he came to pick me up, and I opened the door, and we didn't even say hello. We made out in my hallway for 3 minutes before we said hello.
Yes.
And because I felt like, you know what, that kiss is going to tell me everything I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. And I thought, you know what? And it took a load of pressure off you. I think you were very nervous.
Yeah, because there was a lot of expectation after 2 weeks of buildup of what it was going to, what this first date was going to be like, right?
And we weren't supposed to fall in love. We were just supposed
we were just supposed to be fuck buddies, but yeah.
We're terrible fuck buddies.
Bad fuck buddies. Good at the fucking part, bad at just the buddy part.
You fucked up the fuck buddy experience.
The fucking part was great.
Yeah.
Buddy part, not so good.
Yeah, that was tough.
But that was, you were like, oh shit, I like this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think it's that important because I think it tells you a lot about where your chemistry's at.
Mm-hmm.
And same as you. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Like some people just like to fuck. They don't want to kiss. I get that.
There's also chemical sort of, there's taste and pheromones and all sorts of other sort of chemistry that happens in that exchange of fluids in that way, right? And some people, I mean, in extreme cases, are allergic to their partner, right? Like,
that's what they think anyway. Yeah.
No, I mean, there's been more than one case I've heard in various podcasts and things like that of people who have get chemical burns from their partner's semen and stuff like that. Like the pH is all off. So
it's all off. Yeah.
And they could be the greatest person, but if it hurts every time you have sex or kiss, it's not going to last, right?
Not going to last.
No.
That's a damn shame.
That's a damn shame.
That is a damn shame. And I think it's a damn shame that people don't enjoy kissing because it's super sensual. And you know what else is super sexy? When I watch you kiss somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because we do talk.
Yes. You have this ESP thing going on. But I have a scenario for you. Would you, Dante, allow B to sleep with her celebrity crush? Like opportunity, and she came across this man or woman and was like, I need her, and the opportunity is here. Would you go for it or not?
Yeah, we've talked about the celebrity list, right? And under the understanding that if everybody's willing and with prior kind of consent, in the sense of like, hey, so The Rock is in town.
I just met Jason Statham.
Jason Statham's having coffee with me.
I just met Jason Momoa at the coffee house. Is it cool if I hit that? Well, Cheating on Fear actually did a whole episode on all of the non-monogamy references in the Friends series. Mm-hmm. So, and that was the last one that we talked about, was the celebrity list. And so you did your celebrity list and I did my celebrity list. I actually had an alternate on there.
You did, because it was supposed to be 5 and you couldn't just pick 5.
No, I had 6.
She had to have a starting 6.
But so you'd be fine with that as long as I called you first.
Yeah.
And filmed it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
Because we are like a not like monogamish.
Yeah. Most people would consider a non-traditional relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've seen each other do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love it. I love it. So does this happen in sex clubs or?
Yes.
Are you going to parties or how?
We haven't been to a party. We've made our own party.
Yeah, we kind of make our own parties.
But there's never more than 4 people there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, when we could go to sex clubs.
Yeah. All the sex clubs are closed right now.
I know. Damn shame.
That is a damn shame that we can't cheat on fear in the sex club.
So listen.
Although our favorite one just popped up on Instagram the other day that was like, we're still here, don't worry, we're still around. I was like, thank God they're hanging on, waiting for it.
I'm telling you, I've had my experience at a sex club and I love it. I am a voyager.
Voyeur.
Mm-hmm.
Voyeur. Love watching. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So look, the Damn Shame community used to be a stripper.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
That's a whole level of fear that you have to overcome. So I assume that Dante, you were not with B when this happened, or when.
Man, if I could get in a time machine, that would be one stop. Is to see B in her heyday. Yeah.
Listen. I went to South Beach, Miami, and I think it was my very first time there. And we went to this place and they had the strongest, biggest drink called Call a Cab. And it literally, you drink it, awesome. You have to call a cab because you either have to walk or call a cab. So of course we're walking and stumbling our way back to the hotel, and we get into this bar, and they had a stripper pole.
Oh, wow.
Kiki decided that she was going to enter the contest. So
Yes.
whole club. Now I didn't get naked, but I did go work the pole. And I was like, they were like, go Kiki, go
Get it,
Kiki.
girl, get it.
So what was your experience? How did you overcome that fear and that, sense of being, like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, if you can, this is the thing. If you, after you've been naked in front of 400 people, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think I was pretty young. So I wasn't, I don't think I was thinking all the way through. I had a lot of dance training. I had taken dance for 12 years. I'm a trained dancer. So that wasn't a problem. I could pass that to you.
No, you're in a story.
So I was confident about that. I felt pretty good about my body. And I think even then, like you talk about being a voyeur, Kiki, there's a great kink quiz that we can send you. We're actually going to do an episode on all the different kinks and stuff like that and talk about those. But I took this kink quiz and I'm 100% voyeur and 100% exhibitionist. So yes. I think that was in my blood from a very early age. Yeah. And if you're on a pole in Miami, you're probably 100% exhibitionist too. And it was just one of those things where you go, you know what are they going to do? Same thing. Peel the onion. What's the worst thing that can happen? Are they all going to laugh? No, I'm 20. They're not going to laugh. They're going to think that's amazing. And I know how to dance. And it was, and yeah, sure. The first night it was terrifying. I thought, I don't know if I can do this. And you do it once and it's just like I said, so many fears are just it's all this bullshit that you tell yourself. And I wanted to circle back to talking about fear, and especially for women, a lot of fear comes back to a concept that's called limiting beliefs. And it's all this messaging that we get from the time we're very small and very young about, you can't do this. Don't be a slut, be polite. Don't make anybody uncomfortable. Don't be too loud. Don't be too this, blah, 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 blah. And it's, you hold that with you and it limits you from trying things and doing things because you think, oh no, I can't do that. That's not you. That's your limiting beliefs telling you can't do shit. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Absolutely. And even at 19 and 20, I thought, you know what? Fuck, I'm going to try this. And the episode's actually pretty funny. The origin story, Dante's great at teasing out stories and adding color and shading to all my stories. And it does make you fearless when you go, I'm a little scared to do this, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. And not reckless things that are going to get you maimed or killed. Just things that your brain tells you are too scary. And, you get over it. And every time you do something that scares you, it builds confidence. And then it's like a muscle. Confidence is like a muscle. And getting over that fear is like, and you do it and do it and do it. And you think, I did this fucking thing. I did this thing. I did this thing. I can do this. And then one day you look up from the stripper stage and you see your entire high school graduating male class sitting in pervert's row. And you go, oh yeah, that tracks. Right.
Yeah.
So nice. Yeah. And I wish you'd been there. I would have given you the best dance.
Oh, it would have been awesome. But
it's okay. I dance for you now.
But that's it. I mean, now I get to fuck the stripper.
You get to fuck the stripper. You don't even have to spend the money to be in the champagne room.
There is sex in our champagne room. Yeah.
That's it.
You've never stripped for me. Okay.
Do you have a stripper name? You said he needs a stripper name?
Oh.
No, he needs to strip for me. He's never stripped for me. Oh, yeah. You need to do your magic mic.
Yeah, no. Me and dancing are not on the same page.
Oh, no. See, I dance. He holds my purse. That's how that works.
Oh, God.
I admire from afar.
Yeah. Actually, in lockdown, I've started dancing again. Like just learning choreography from some of my favorite choreographers in Toronto and stuff like that. And so tomorrow there's going to be a performance a private performance of one of my choreography pieces.
I don't even know the song. Like, I know nothing.
Hey, I know it's going to be good. How about this?
Maybe I'll share the video with you. We'll see how that goes.
How about that? So listen, we just had Valentine's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scenario. B planned the most amazing, extravagant Valentine's Day experience for you, Don.
Mm-hmm.
And while at dinner, she kept saying, I had this surprise waiting at our lavish hotel for the both of us. I cannot wait for you to experience it. It's going to be something that we both can enjoy. And so she's just been talking about it. I mean, really amping this up the whole time that you all are at dinner and on your way to the house. You get to the hotel, lavish hotel room, and you walk in, and it is this man that is laying there in the bed waiting, and B is like, surprise. He is physically fit. He is oiled down. His dick is long as forever. And she's like, I'm ready for this threesome. How would you handle that?
So there's two parts to this. Oh, go, keep going.
Oh,
And he's
there's more?
like,
Okay.
Okay. Turn it.
I don't know if Kiki saw all of it.
yes, black is beautiful. Yes, and black dick is beautiful. You know, and a white dick. I've always thought about it and wanted to, but all right, back.
It's more pink.
It's pinky
than white. Yeah, so But okay, so there's two ways to approach your question. First of all, surprise threesomes are usually a bad idea. just from the sense of you don't know what the other person, if you've not talked about this and you're just like, here we go, it can be dicey.
catastrophic, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, it's yeah. If you're gonna have somebody else in your relationship at that level, it should be done with a discussion beforehand. Now, let's say all that's happened. I mean, most of your scenario we've experienced, so it wouldn't be that. The only thing that would be abnormal about it is that
I didn't tell
that
you.
B sprung it on me.
Yeah.
And that the guy's oiled up. That's not usually.
But that's okay.
But that's
I like
okay.
that. It's slippy. It's good.
Yeah, it makes for a nice slippery night.
There you
Was it
go.
that-
It's important. It's important. I know that you were kind of thinking, oh well, would he be upset? No, he's watched stuff, and
Yeah.
we like to liken it. The analogy I like best is it's like driving a Mercedes or any kind, or your luxury car of choice. It's great, but you never get to see it go by.
Mm-hmm.
And with some of the adventures that Dante and I have been on, you get to drive the Mercedes and watch it go by.
Nice.
And so I think, and I think you make a really good point is that, and I think that's what makes the idea of a threesome with another man or another woman or another couple really scary, because you think about that being sprung on you and you go, whoa, hold on a second. How is this even going to work?
Yeah.
And it's kind of sexy. I think a lot of people out there think that planned sex isn't sexy.
Yeah.
And it is super sexy, because when you're planning sex with other people, you need to be respectful and cognizant of their schedules and when they're free and their sensibilities and who's comfortable with what and what's off limits and what's okay. And when you do that, when you have all of that, and then you have a plan in place, that is super sexy, because the run up to that, when you know you have something like that planned and everybody is on board and everybody's comfortable and everybody's excited, it's pretty.
So who normally
hot.
goes to find that person that you want to bring, or that other couple that you all want to bring in? Is it a mutual thing, or, you know, Dante, you're like, fuck this, I got it, you know, I'm gonna find someone.
I think B's more successful at the search.
You found our current.
Yeah, but in general, on dating apps and things like that, women have more success. Like when B opens up an app and swipes on somebody, it's almost always a match, right? And I can swipe for days and get nowhere near the hit rate that B gets, right? And even on apps that are specific for non-traditional relationships, for threesomes or foursomes and things like that,
I feel like you have better luck with that
in some respects.
But then I come in and blow it up because I have like spidey sense and go.
Yeah, B has a very good filter on these kinds of things, and you know, it took time to hone for these types of scenarios, but I trust it completely. If B gives me a look or says something like, we got to shut this down, there's no question.
Actually, it's a damn shame that y'all haven't listened to this week's episode, because we talked to our resident sex positive sex therapist, Dr. Tom Murray.
I saw it.
He's so lovely. He's so lovely. And we talk about highly sensitive people, and there's a link in our bio to the test, so you can see if you're a highly sensitive person or not. It's about 20% of the population.
But I wonder,
did you do the test?
It's the results. So I was like, I'm not doing this shit.
What happened?
I said, I saw it and I was like, I don't know who the fuck gets the results. So I was
no,
like,
you do. You do. Yeah, no, you get it. And so being one of those people, you notice things on people or with people and you go, nope, something's not right. And I just shut it down, and he goes, all right, cool. And we just move forward, because having a bad experience is just not worth it, because there's always more people. The big mistake is that people think this is our only opportunity to do something like this. No, it's not. There's tons of people out there. And he's such an incredibly confident man, sexy man. And he knows, listen, if you're ever wondering about the pink dicks, I'm just saying it's worth figuring out.
I've seen it in porn.
Worth a trip to Canada. I don't know.
A little trip to Canada, a little trip to but he's so, I mean, to have a partner like that is so confident that, you know, he can kind of we can engage in those kinds of things as a couple, and there's no negative emotions. It's really remarkable. And it's so contrary to what so many people think it's going to be. Like, I think we talked about it on the Friends episode, where it's like, that is most people's worst nightmare, is thinking about their partner fucking somebody else. Like, that's the worst thing ever. And you're like, not until you try it.
Yeah. You have the damn shamers going in the comments. Asking,
how many times have you had a threesome with your partner?
How many times have you had?
How many times have we had threesomes?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, so we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 different foursomes.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
4 different foursomes. There's one couple that we've gotten quite close to, especially since the pandemic, when things were loosened up a little bit up here. We did see them a couple of times, and it's such an odd like, we're like 4 really, really close friends, and then we do things together as 2 couples, and then we end up having sex after. It's really fun.
I love it.
And then we've done a threesome with another man.
Yep.
And a threesome with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
From the islands, actually.
Oh shit! Listen, listen. We have this policy here in my circle of friends. We don't share dick, okay?
You don't share dick?
We do not share dick that we know. Dick that we might not know. If we go on a girls' trip and hey, things get a little spicy.
So you share dick that you don't know?
I don't know that I could handle somebody fucking my man that I've been with for 4 years. That's just a lot for me because I'm so territorial. And I think that's my shit. It's my fear. It's my
KiKi,
fear.
you know what? I would be happy to share with you. I would be happy to share dick with you. Because you know what?
But here's the thing. You're sharing your man, but you're also fucking the other man. So it's a give and take, right?
But you know what? I think the question is more about threesomes and stuff. And having threesomes with your friends, like you think, oh my God, no, you can't do that. And this
not
lady
with my main man, not with my Dante. Getting Dante's dick if you fucking with me. You're gonna get maybe Dante's cousin. We'll go fuck Dante's cousin and then we'll come back, but not Dante.
You know what? We could do that too.
Okay.
Damn Shame is in the comments saying it sounds fun.
It's super fun. And this is the thing is that, I think a lot of people are afraid because of what we've been socialized to equate sex with so many things that you only have sex with people you love. And that if, and sex with someone you love is amazing. Sure. But sex with someone you like is also fun. And when we had a threesome with my friend, there was never any question about, oh, are you going to like her better? Or is that going to ruin the friendship? And it's so funny because everybody thinks, oh, you don't want to fuck your friends or you don't want to share your man with your friends because he's going to fuck your friendship over. I'm closer to her than ever. Nice. And it's actually super, super sweet because when the two of them see each other, it's not like they meet up on their own, but like when we all see each other, there's this sweet affection between the two of them where it's like, hey, yeah, I fucked you before. That's cool, right? Yeah, it's super cool. And it's not, again, it's more of an affection and a bonding thing rather than like, oh, I'm just waiting until we're alone, waiting until B leaves the room so that you and I can get something going. It's not really like that. It's not shady like that. And I think a lot of people, their only experience of their partner fucking somebody else is thinking about cheating. Mm-hmm. And again, and that takes us.
There in the comments, the comments have really gone.
Yeah, so Damn Shame and Dominique says, I ain't sharing shit.
Dominique, come on.
Don't knock until you try, baby.
Sharing is caring. The fear is them leaving. If you know for sure they're never leaving, that eases the anxiety.
Yeah.
And then
here's
freeing
the thing.
to be uninhibited.
It's freeing to be uninhibited. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here's the thing. And that's a great comment. And it's a very common fear of what if they leave? And the reality is you don't have your partner. That dick is on lease.
With an option to buy.
And that pussy's on lease. Nobody belongs to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the songs say. It doesn't matter what the movies say. No one belongs to you.
Even if you're married?
No, you belong to yourself and nothing. If that person wants to leave, they're going to leave. Whether you're in a monogamous relationship, it doesn't matter. If that person wants to go, they are free to go. But what it does, sorry, okay. You keep waiting for me to take a breath so you can say something. But what it does is when you have that mindset of, he doesn't belong to me and I don't belong to him. But what that changes your relationship into is we make a choice every day. I choose him every day. He chooses me every day. And we treat each other like we're trying to keep each other, not like there's an assumption, oh, you're not going nowhere. Where are you going to go from this to what? there's always somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, and there's no wondering if the grass is greener over there, because we can, if one of us
can walk on the grass,
we can do that, right? And I think too many people,
I love it.
I think too many people approach relationships as that the only way that you have a successful relationship is if one or both of you die. That's the only way the relationship is a success. But if it ends for any reason, it's a disaster. It's a failure. And I think relationships have a certain shelf life, an expiry date. And if you reach that and you can part amicably and you can learn from that relationship and bring that into your next relationship or future relationships, then it's successful. It's only a failure if you're miserable and it's a scorched earth policy and you just blow all your shit up around it, then that's a failure. But I'm Italian. I know.
My hands are everywhere.
So I think if you, like, to B's point about not owning your partner, that they don't belong to you, I know how B feels about me, and I think she knows how I feel about her. And so when we are doing, and communication is part of it, you can't do the sorts of things that we do and be bad at communication. There's a lot of talking, lot of talking, because you have to unpack these feelings. Because again, when you go back to that fear point, that if you take something and you just shove it down and ignore it, it festers, and it can manifest itself in other ways in your relationship that are going to be detrimental and could blow up that relationship. So you have to be able to have that trust with your partner to be able to say, hey, so we call it flashes. And it's not necessarily a jealousy thing, but if something happens, you go, hey, I kind of had a flash about this thing, and then the other person goes, well, what was it about? And then we talk about it, and then you get an explanation, because I trust B, and I know that she has my back and I've got hers, that if we're talking about something like this, I know she's not going to like hide that information away to use it later to some advantage. And so I can be open and honest with her and talk to her about it. And then we can resolve that issue when it's a tiny, small thing before it's this massive thing that's going to destroy everything. Right.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So we have another comment from the Damn Shamers.
Yeah. So one Damn Shamer just agreeing, saying, damn, I love it. There's always somewhere to go. And another, I don't want to suck on my man's dick after him fucking someone else. My friend.
Well, that's a bit of a technical question. That's a logistical question. So I just
baby wipes.
Okay. Baby wipes. So we have actually what we call our sexual adventure go bag.
Yes.
In which we and this is the thing, you need to, as a couple, talk about your boundaries and what's okay and what's not okay. So the very, very basic thing for him and I is that him and I are fluid bonded, which it sounds kind of gross, but it basically means that we have sex without condoms, but we don't do that with anyone else. So anyone else that we are engaging with sexually, we are using protection. We are using condoms, we're, or maybe dental dams for oral or whatever. It depends on the person's sexual health and conversations that we've had. But that is a hard and fast rule that sex with anyone else includes condoms. And so, yeah, he's been having sex with another woman. He whips that condom off and my face is there, and that's fine. That's not a problem. Yeah. But that's something, this is what I'm saying, that like surprise group sex or surprise threesomes aren't usually advised, because those are the things that you need to talk about. What are the things that make you uncomfortable? Some people aren't comfortable with their partner kissing. You were talking about kissing earlier, KiKi, and how intimate
see that as a boundary a lot, actually.
A lot of people have that as a boundary where they're okay with their partner fucking someone else, but they're not okay with their partner kissing someone else. And that's something that needs to be discussed far ahead of time.
Not when the clothes are coming off.
No. And I think that's what generates a lot of fear with people, is that they don't have that conversation and they go into that surprise, it's your birthday, I got you I've arranged a threesome for your birthday. No. Terrible idea. Terrible. Get them a tie. you know, and then talk about the threesome for something else. And so, and so I appreciate the damn shamers weighing in and making comments and asking questions, because this is what we're trying to do on the podcast, is to talk about this kind of stuff. And what doesn't get talked about, and I wanted to bring up as a concept is the idea of compersion. And what that is quite literally the opposite of jealousy. And this is the part of non-monogamy and the part of non-traditional relationships that very rarely gets discussed or talked about. And compersion is that feeling of when you see your partner getting or receiving pleasure from someone that isn't you, you think it's going to be awful. And compersion is this overwhelming sense of joy and happiness that your partner is experiencing this pleasure. And it's really complicated. It's a really complicated emotion. It's really hard to explain to people unless and until you experience it yourself and you go, holy shit, I never imagined I would feel this way watching my partner do something that is everyone's purported worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first time we shared each other with other people was a super duper hot lesbian couple.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. And we had all had a discussion about what was going to be okay and what wasn't going to be okay. And you can change the rules. You just have to take a time out and say, you know what, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that, and go back in. And they had originally said they only wanted to engage with me, and it was okay if they played with me and then him and I did stuff, and that was fine. They weren't really interested in engaging with him. But once they met him and saw what kind of person he was and talked to him a little bit, they both let him go down on them.
Nice.
I was worried. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, because you're super good at that. And I didn't know how I felt. I was more worried about sharing his mouth than his dick. And I was like, that is amazing. You didn't think they were going to let you do that, and now you're doing that. It's amazing. And he went to go down on me, and I was like, get away from there. This is a limited time only. You go do that. You can eat this pussy anytime.
Yeah.
And there was this amazing
that was your
feeling.
First experience.
That was our first experience of having sex with people outside of our relationship. And it was so positive, and it was so joyful, and it was so amazing. It was like, holy shit, like we can do this. And you ride that out and talk about that, and it bonds you. And then when you realize all the things we've been told about, oh, it's the end of your relationship, or it means they don't love you, or whatever it is, it's not true.
So do you all have this meetup before, or, a conference fucking call? I don't know.
Production meeting.
Production
meeting.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to do this differently. And there are people, and there's no shade thrown at all, but there are people who are all about like the randomness of it. And they'll go to a sex club, they'll find somebody they like, they won't do anything, like they won't have any conversations. Killing our mic here. Sorry. They won't have any conversations. They'll just do it. And that's the thrill. The thrill is the randomness, right? And also, you can understand the safety in the sense of like, they don't know who you are, so your man's not in any danger or whatever. But then there's also sexual health considerations and all that sort of stuff that you got to weigh in, right? And then the way that we prefer to do this, because it's not just a physical attraction to somebody that is the catalyst for all of this. You want to make sure that you have a mental connection to them in some way.
That's for us though.
That's just for us. There are lots of people who have different political beliefs that can fuck, or have different sorts of opinions on things, and they can put it all aside and get naked. But we want to feel a connection to the people that we're going to be intimate with. For me, especially with the other guy, I want to make sure that the guy's a decent guy, that he's not going to be shitty and be aggressive or push boundaries or do things that we haven't agreed upon. And so typically the way that we would do it is that we would meet up and grab drinks or have a meal and then debrief that, check in with, the other person or the couple. And then my hand's all the way over here. and then if everybody's agreeable, then set up a date and then do something like that. Yeah.
And the dynamic is different depending on, whether it's a foursome or a threesome. We've done a threesome with another male, a very old friend of mine who's just absolutely lovely. And
it's cool, dude.
And this is the thing, like him and Dante got along so well. And it was just like, he got up, we were all kind of hanging out and he got up to go to the washroom and Dante's like, yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. And it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. Okay, cool. And now there's this incredible friendship between him and this other man that's almost independent of me.
Nice.
And I think that's so cool. Like you think about the opportunities that men have to bond or make new friends as adults, and they're very limited opportunities as adults to make new friends. And this other woman who we miss dearly, she's actually moved to the States. She was absolutely lovely. And I am bisexual. I'm hetero-romantic, so I don't date women, but I'm very attracted to women. And so same thing, if I'm going to share KiKi, then I gotta like you, because if I don't like you, I'm not sharing. No. And so I have to have a connection with that other woman, and there has to be a bond between me and that other woman. And when that's there, it's all love, baby. It's all love,
I love it.
And it's really, so, so when that border opens, you better like book that trip to China and just
ow. So listen, have you all had a fatal attraction kind of episode, or have you all?
Oh, wow. Or somebody's been all stocky and weird?
Yeah.
Not that we know of.
Okay.
Maybe we just haven't discovered it yet.
I mean, if they've been stalking us, they haven't made themselves apparent yet.
I don't mean to be arrogant about it, but I feel like I'm a very, very good judge of character.
Yeah.
And if I get any kind of feeling like something is off or not right with someone, then I will shut it down immediately, because this is not something that
it's not to be messed with.
And you know what? There's a lot of people that are, again, careless about it, and not to throw any shade, but where they're not as thoughtful about it. And that's when things get messy. But Dante and I, from the very beginning, we decided we were going to do this in a very thoughtful and conscientious manner. And we don't want to hurt anybody. And we certainly don't want to be hurt by anyone.
Campsite rule.
Nice. What's the campsite rule?
Leave it in the same or better condition than you found it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly. And that's what we want, right?
Damn Shame was just said in the comments. So that's good.
Oh yeah? Nice.
What was that? The campsite rule?
I
love that. Yes. Absolutely. And that's the thing. We're not out to use people. We're not out to, dehumanize people or demoralize people. It's about connection, and it's about pleasure and enjoyment. Like why do we need more shit in the world? There's, this is about, it's all, like I say, it's all love, right?
It's all love.
All love.
That's positive. All love. So look, I have a fast round questions. I call this KiKi's 10 quickies, okay?
Oh shit. Yeah, quickies are good.
This or that. I'm going to throw something out and you just tell me which one you prefer, which one is better. It's either this or that. If you choose not to answer, then you can just sip on your ale or your wine.
I'm excited. Got that game show vibe.
So, hot coffee or hot tea?
Hot coffee.
Coffee.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Beer.
Skiing in the Alps.
Although we're both drinking wine.
You had beer already.
Skiing in the Alps or sunbathing in Bora Bora?
Sunbathing.
Bora Bora, for sure.
Fuck skiing. I like my legs unbroken.
Sex in the morning or sex at night?
Both.
You have to choose?
I do like sex in the morning though.
If we have to choose morning, but
that morning light is primo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Start your day off right.
Yeah. Dirty talk or sex texting? Sexting.
Wow, that's a tough.
Sexting.
Sexting. Mm-hmm.
Sex in the shower or sex in the bed?
Sex in the bed.
Mm-hmm. Bed.
Whips or chains?
Chains.
Really?
Restraints.
You're so full of shit.
It's
supposed to be a quickie. Come on.
All right, chains.
We'll come back to that. Hallmark movie or hardcore porn?
Porn.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck
porn.
Hallmark. It's all the same shit. My dad watches Hallmark movies.
Dominatrix
And hardcore porn.
Dominatrix or submission?
Dominatrix.
Dumb. Yeah.
He loves that. The higher the boots, the better. Yes.
Nice. Yes. Masturbation or penetration?
Oh, penetration.
Yeah, penetration if it's available.
Yeah.
Well,
masturbation if I'm on the blob. That's how that works.
So why was he lying about the whips and chains?
Because he likes getting beat a little bit sometimes. Just lightly. You know, it's funny. You know, I'm what's called a switch. So again, there's that kink test that you should take so you know what's up and what you like. And a switch is basically somebody who can be dominant or submissive, depending on what the situation requires. And are you a bit of a switch too?
Yeah,
a little less than me.
Yeah, you're more of a like a power bottom.
I'm a
She dominates from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And now we're here.
The whole team here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so he does enjoy when I play a role a little bit where I get all mean and not mean, but just assertive.
I love it. I love it. Well,
it's fun. It's a fun role.
This has been a pleasure. You all have exceeded my expectations.
Fantastic.
I love your authenticity. I love the fact that, you know, you all exude love between one another and you can see those up well. You have given me some things to consider when it comes to exploring this threesome, foursome kind of thing and just changing my mindset. And I'm sure the Damn Shamer's mindset about how to approach it and how to be responsible with it and not, you know, operate out of fear and, you know, be free to explore life because you're fearful of, you know, something fucked up happening. And so we can't live like that, especially in these times where things are just, you know, so you never know what's going to happen the next minute, you know, whether you're here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. So it's very important for us to just live our best lives. It would be a damn shame if you didn't. So listen, each and every week, I like to spotlight Black-owned businesses. And certainly you saw in the promo video, the intro video that we have, the Damn Shame on the Rocks drink recipe book as an ebook. You can now download that on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com and you pay for it. It's $9.99 and you download it on your free Kindle app. And I'd say that there are some amazing cocktails and mocktails that are out there that we have had featured on some of our past podcasts. So please be sure to check that out. Get your Damn Shame merch if you haven't already done that. But listen, each and every week, we like to give out the Damn Shame Award of the week. And so for me, I like to give that Damn Shame Award of the week to the one who doesn't want or is fearful of exploring their sexual side and taking it to the extreme. Like they're fearful of really stepping out of their comfort zone and exploring all of the amazing things that come with sex positivity and intimacy and love and all of that. So that would be who gets the Damn Shame Award of the Week for me. What about you all?
I tend to agree with you. I think the person who was like, I don't share. I don't share.
Yeah.
I don't share my dick. I think that's a damn shame, because you know what?
That's a damn shame.
Try it one time and see, and then get back to me and tell me what you think.
I mean, you got to do it twice because you might be bad at it the first time.
Yeah, you got to try everything twice just to make sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I would say that.
Suggest to you all is to teach a class. Now, I am very serious. There will be people that would be interested in what you all have to say, because you presented it in such a way that it made someone feel comfortable about even considering stepping outside that comfort zone and doing it. And so
it's very kind of you,
I'm
Kiki. Thank you.
That y'all are here and that the Damn Shamers got a chance to experience it. I'm happy that I just, happened to scroll along and saw your podcast, and I was like, cheating on fear. Who would have thought that y'all would be making me consider sharing my dick?
I think we just had our class, Kiki. I think we just had the class.
Yeah.
Everybody got schooled in non-monogamy 101. Congratulations, y'all just graduated.
We graduated, and we can flip the little tassel.
The tassel to the other side of the mortarboard. There you go.
Throw it in the air.
So thank y'all so much. How can they find Cheating on Fear?
You do.
Well, we have a website, cheatingonfear.com. You can send us an email, info@cheatingonfear.com. We are on Instagram and Twitter @cheatingonfear, and we would love to hear from you. And I'm so happy that you had us on today. We had an amazing time talking to you today. You're so much fun, Kiki. Just amazing what you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So as always, we are here each and every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in, tell a friend, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up if you like what you heard, and let us know, get in those comments. Certainly, if you know someone in Texas, DM us at Damn Shame Podcast. So we'd like to do our part with helping with the efforts there, giving some relief. All right. You can find us on all podcasting platforms. Also, Cheating on Fear. You're on all podcasting platforms, right?
We are on Apple, Spotify,
Stitcher, Google.
Yep.
All the places that your favorite podcasts live.
That's it. Same with Damn Shame Podcast. So thank you, Damn Shamers. See y'all next week. Tell a friend. If you can't be good, be great. Otherwise, it's a damn shame. Ow.